So Gerry. So Gerry is the owner of Humana Design, a small strategic design consultancy. He's Irish.
That makes a difference.
He has 14 years experience and is also a qualified industrial designer. And he's currently working for New South Wales Department of Justice. And he's been a mentor for 7 years, all up. And he's with us for 3 years as a mentor. And Alexa works with me at Sympaset. So she's a senior experience designer with Sympaset. You've been in Sympaset for 2.5 years. And she also teaches part-time at UX Academy Z in Surrey Hills. And this autumn program is your first mentoring at IxDA. All right, so let's go and start. So my first question to both of you. So what did you decide to become a mentor? I'll start with you, Gerry.
Well, the first time I mentored someone was probably in 2009, and I didn't actually decide it. I just kind of was asked to have a coffee with somebody, and before I knew it, they told a friend that I was doing this mentoring thing, and it just kind of like spiraled out of there. And it's not like I'm doing it every day of the week, but when Vera approached me in 2013, I think it was, it just seemed to be a little bit more of a formal process, and I had access to people who actually wanted to get mentored. I was happy to do it, so that's pretty much it.
Okay, Alexa?
I haven't been mentoring as long as Gerry, but I remember those days trying to transition from studying UX and actually going into my first job there, and I remember that being a really confusing time, and I think I would have really appreciated having a mentor during that time. So I thought, when you approached me, I thought, yeah, what a great experience to meet someone new in the industry and to kind of give them some pointers on perhaps mistakes that I made when I was going through that period.
Okay, good. So what did you learn as a mentor through your experience? I'll start with you, Alexa.
I learned that, so Adrian was the guy that I was mentoring, and I learned that if I wasn't able to explain something to him in a way that he could understand, it probably showed a gap in my knowledge that I really needed to go away and hone that more in order to meet Adrian's needs and really meet his needs in achieving the goals that he wanted to get out of the mentorship.
Yeah, pretty much that as well. Like the other thing that really hit home was, first of all, I don't like the word mentor and mentee, so I think there's a bit of a stigma around that. But whenever I met these people, that they were just like me, like, and it sounds so obvious to say it, like, there's no difference between what I want and what a mentee wants. We're just at kind of different levels and different experience levels and knowledge levels. So what we're doing is imparting knowledge and helping people really, get to the next stage of where they want to be.
Okay, thanks. So how did you help your mentee to achieve their goals?
Well, Adrian had come out of the General Assembly intensive course, so for him, he took a lot of initiative. He actually went out and took a pro bono job to try and kind of create a foothold in the UX industry. So I started mentoring him at the time when he needed to carry out an expert review of a client's website and actually present that back to the client. So I pretty much just gave him the guidance that he needed to carry out that review, get his presentation skills up to scratch. But I've got to say, like, Adrian had so much passion and enthusiasm. It was really just guiding him. He had a lot of initiative to take that process further.
For me, I guess in 2009 I had a really good boss, and he helped me form a matrix. And it was a skills matrix that I used, and I still use to this day, and I like to find new opportunities and new business opportunities and new career opportunities. And it's basically 25 to 30 questions that are important to me, and I rank them on a scale of 1 to 10. So whenever anyone comes to me for a job, or I'm trying to weigh it up on many criteria, like, as opposed to saying, that's more money, or like, I'm taking the money and the emotion out of it. So whenever I meet mentees for the first time, I try to get them to do like an overview matrix, skills matrix of where they're at, where they're weak, where they're strong, and where do they want to be in 6 months, in 12 months, like, and what do we need to improve, so I can actually tailor, like mark time together, you know. So that's what I tend to do, take a pragmatic approach.
Do you mind sharing that too?
It's actually on my website. Yeah. No, I haven't done it. All right, fair enough. It would have been really cool if I had turned around and was like, yeah, no, like it's my name, GerryScullion.com. There's a matrix up there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your, I guess, challenges as a mentor?
Probably when I didn't feel like I could give Adrian the support that he needed. So, I mean, it's a good opportunity just to go away and turn to other mentors that you have. So I invited him along to the Simplicit office. He came to one of our learning sessions. I just tried to expose him to as many people in the UX industry as possible, just so we could create some connections that way.
There's no real challenge with the mentor program. Like it's probably the weirdest part is you tend to do it in 6 sessions, and then afterwards when you're finished, you're like, well, I'm done. And then they keep going, and if you do it for 5 or 6 times, and you've got 5 or 6 people going, and they're all calling you wanting to catch up for coffee, it gets exponentially more and more work. So it's trying to manage that process of boxing it off a little bit. Like I'm totally happy to meet up afterwards, but if 6 of them or 7 of them and then 8 of them and so forth, that's the only problem. Apart from that, it's really rewarding.
Cool. How are we going for time? 2 minutes? Did you say 2 minutes?
Please.
Sorry. All right. Okay. So my last question is that is there any advice that you can give to the audience that are probably thinking about getting into a mentor or become a mentor?
Oh, definitely do it. It's really satisfying. Like it's mutually beneficial. It's a lot of fun. You meet someone new in the industry and kind of test your own skills as a practitioner. I think it makes you a better consultant if you're able to support and articulate the process to someone else.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's, you know, you only need to know a little bit more than the person you're mentoring to really like have the knowledge. You don't need to be an expert or a senior. Like if you're a junior, you're going to know more than someone who's getting into the industry. So it's not exclusive to someone who's a senior or a lead or a principal. Like so, like we're all here capable of teaching and sharing our knowledge with other people. It's a good way to network and make new friends. That's it. I totally advise it.
Thank you. Good answer. Do we have questions from the audience? Anything you want to know?
Caleb?
Oh. No?
I do. Have either of you, I think you did mention about being mentored. Do you continue with that as you go along? Or have you spent more time actually sharing with people who were seeking you as a mentor?
The funny thing is, one of the mentees took a job and actually sold my business in. So I ended up getting work out of a former mentee, and that's not the reason to do it. I'm not saying that way. But if you do a good job with the mentee, you spread your network. It's at the end of the day, if you're good at networking, so that's one of the side benefits.
Anyone?
Yes. Okay, hold on. I gotta find you.
Run.
Hello. I was just wondering, for mentees, what do you find their expectations are when they first, sign up? When you first meet them?
Yeah, I think for Adrian it was about bridging those stepping stones from coming out of studying UX to actually trying to get his first job. So we were trying to workshop together some strategies around doing that, whether that's going through an internship, a junior role. In the end, he's taken on a full-time role as a teacher assistant at General Assembly. So we'll probably reconvene once he's finished with that process.
After, when it's with me, I tend to do that assessment piece up front. And it mightn't be, a lot of people want to kind of go, how do I get a job in UX, or how do I, I want to move on to be a senior UXer and so forth. But once you do the assessment, you understand where they're weak and you can actually give them advice. So it's not so much about climbing the ladder, it's about becoming more of a rounded consultant or a rounded practitioner. So that's the core reason for me anyway.
All right, Vera, Gerry, and Alexa, Thanks very much.